Hello YouTube, it is I, Dragon, Singing Local Dragon VTubV streamer, and today's video is, we haven't done this in a while, but, it's fun to have this every so often. So y'all may remember a couple years ago when I did the Lostbelt 7 speculation video, and how almost close I was on that. I figured we'd do the same thing today, but this time, it's going to be for Ordeal Call 4. Or OC4 for short. That will be coming out very soon. So you'll figure I just kind of throw some ideas out there, kind of do a little speculation video before it actually drops, and we can see how right or wrong I am about this. I'm probably gonna be very wrong, but either way, hope y'all are ready for this. It's gonna be fun, so don't forget to leave a like, comment, sub, and all that good stuff. And I hope you enjoy. We are coming hot off of the conclusion to OC3, coming straight from the moon to the wonderful city of Rome, here in Europe, close to Italy, because it's gonna be taking place. Because every road leads to Rome, because it's going to be taking place not in Rome but close to Rome is where it's going to begin. So the group is going to have no time to relax and will have to make their way straight to Rome. And among them, one of the servers is going to be joining them right from the get-go. It's going to be Nero herself, right here for OC4. So to begin this video off, once the group immediately arrives, they are under attack, and Nero, Caesar, and Romulus come to their rescue. Nero being the only called to summon servants, the other two being summoned by the land itself, come over to help them. And like I said earlier, all roads lead to Rome, because their goal is to make it to the city of Rome and liberate the city, and to overcome the challenge like they did in the other Ordeal calls. Like in OC1, where they had the Grail War battle. OC2 being with the Avengers. And then OC3 being on the moon, but also being, and taking place during the summer. So this time around, they're going to be in Rome, having to go to the capital to liberate it from some very similar barbarians, kind of like in regular human history. So among them is going to be another new servant, but their identity is going to be hidden to join their group and make it their way all the way back to the city, which is going to be later revealed to be Caligula, but not Berserker Caligula, but instead it's going to be regular Saber, 4-star Saber, Caligula, who's going to be a new summonable servant to go along with one of the later 5 stars. That's also going to be part of a new banner. And so as the group gets closer to the city, enemies become more and more frequent, and then enemy servants that are going to be resembling ones throughout history are going to be appearing to take the role of like certain commanders in the barbarian horde, kind of like Hercules and Eric the Blood Axe. So as they get closer to the city, Caesar is going to sacrifice himself to the group so they can get to safety, and ultimately dies before an image of someone he used to know, his good old friend Brutus, which coincidentally OC4 is going to be taking place during the Ides of March. So once to the city, Nero begins to have doubts about what they should do, and if they should actually save the city, because they've seen the nobles of the city living it lavishly, just partying almost constantly, non-stop, whereas the rest of the city is like downtrodden, falling apart, being more susceptible to enemy attacks, and them doing almost nothing about it. So once they get through the city and meet the current ruler of Rome, a Nero look-alike, kind of like Draco, but without the horns, and welcomes Caligula back home as her husband. So once there, they have a meeting, and the group then decides to help defend the city from the attack, thinking it is the right thing to do, and each of them going to a different part of the city to help them under attack, to repair the walls, and to just kind of help deliver food and other items to the citizens to help them get back on their feet. So after a while, the city will become under attack in the middle of the night. Romulus leaves to defend the throne, and the group spends some few battles to repel some invaders that manage to slip inside the city. So after the group repels the invaders, another meeting is held to send a small group to initiate a surprise attack on the several encampments around the city, because they decided to kind of circle and enclose so none of them can escape through any exit. Nero is therefore told to stay to help defend the city, and instead Romulus agrees to go instead, which unfortunately they are ambushed quite soon, because the enemy was told about their plan ahead of time, and in the ensuing battle, Romulus, however, unfortunately dies as well. So Nero, upon hearing the news, is struck with grief, lashes out at the current rulers, and leaves the city to go into the wilderness. So whenever the group learns about this and stays behind, they learn Nero has left to join the invaders, and after some time and more battles, another battle begins, and they see Nero leading the enemy troops in a uniquely different outfit. So once they meet up with Nero again and have one battle, Nero says that everyone has been deceived by the current ruler, and that the ruler is indeed a fake, wanting to instigate more fighting, and instead this Nero doesn't want to help the city at all. So Chaldea Nero has decided to come to liberate the city and to rule instead. Kind of like opposite from how Nero was in proper human history, because in the battles she reflects back on who she was, the things she did wrong, and wanted to fix it. So that kind of created more of a dilemma on why she wanted to help out and liberate the city. So the decision comes to fight Nero, but again, info is somehow leaked again, and this time they managed to capture one of the enemy forces and learn that it was instead the fake Nero leaking the plans to want to keep the war going, so that way she can actually become the lone ruler. And upon hearing this, Caligula is devastated and begins to also have doubts. And then we can also see him slowly start to turn from his normal self to his berserker self, like his proper self. So upon returning to the city, they meet the guards at the entrance, but the guards are hostile for some reason. And then the order comes down to eliminate everyone from Chaldea, including Nero. But at this point, Nero rides in and attacks the group, and Chaldea decides to join Nero in battle again. And then shortly thereafter, we see Caligula start to have his berserker appearance all over again. His outfit begins to change, and then runs off towards the throne, beating more enemies along the way. So after several fights and a couple of cutscenes, we arrive at the throne to see Caligula fighting the fake Nero, where we will be taking control of Caligula in like some battles against this Nero. And during the fight, he becomes his berserker self, but ultimately loses and loses his life in the process. So Nero, seeing this, becomes enraged and fights this other Nero, who shortly thereafter becomes Lady Draco, Sodom's beast, with horns and becoming the beast class. So at this moment, every part around the city bursts into flames, chaos erupts, people are trying to leave left and right, people getting killed and injured. And upon seeing this again and more fights after, where Nero will unfortunately be losing, Nero undergoes a class change to change into a ruler class, and then begins to fight on more even terms. So after some more battles, including multiple bar breaks, it becomes a one-on-one battle where Nero will have infinite guts, just like how she was in her normal class. And then after that, Nero emerges victorious, slays the Lady Draco, but unfortunately is heavily injured. And after the city is saved, she later succumbs to her injuries and therefore dies. And that will mark the end of OC4. And since all 4 Ordeal calls have been completed, a prologue of the next part is revealed. Whatever that part may be, who knows? Maybe we'll be going back before the Earth was bleached, back to the city of Fuki, and to really learn what caused everything. Why did Chaldea be created in the first place? What really happened to the Animospheres? And what is the truth behind Chaldea? So, I hope y'all enjoyed this little speculation video that I decided to do again, reminiscent of Lostbelt 7. So if you did enjoy this video, again, don't forget to leave a like, comment, sub, and all that good stuff. And we'll see how this all stacks later. Hi everyone, it's me, Dragon again. And this is gonna be after I got done recording the OC4 idea thing, and yeah, they threw out another new servant named Dante. Not Devil May Cry Dante, but actual Dante. And considering he's gonna be part of OC4, I figured we might add a little slight addition. So most of the main story, like I said before, is going to be the same. All of it is going to be there, but we're going to make a slight addition to it, where once they get to the city, they will meet Dante, who is going to be like, not the combatant of the city, but instead is like the note taker who's like, you know, making, like, noting down what's going on in the city, so anyone else, like, outside of the city who doesn't know what's going on is able to learn what's taking place, what's going on, this is that. And so they will have multiple interactions with Dante throughout the entire time they are there. And then they will learn that the one that was in the process of handing out said information from Lady Draco was, in fact, Dante himself, but he was unfortunately under duress to do it, because he was being blackmailed to do it, even though he didn't want to, and he wanted to actually help Chaldea, but he had to do it, even though he didn't want to. So, upon them learning about it, they decided to recruit Dante as a double agent, so they can send information back to Lady Draco, so that they are able to infiltrate the city on more, just like, better terms. Which unfortunately doesn't work out because Lady Draco doesn't trust anyone, and instead wants to have Dante killed as well, which also leads into the whole Nero suddenly appears at the entrance to the city, fights the guards, and then Caligula will run off towards the throne, and Dante will be right behind him to get into the fight, but unfortunately they get separated, and Dante will have to fight on his own, which is where Caldea will join him, have one fight with him before they get to the throne, and then they will see Caligula getting killed. And upon seeing that, Dante will also be getting into a fight, but will unfortunately also be gravely injured, and will have to then retreat. But he will still survive, because he will be taking notes and be sharing how the city was actually liberated and saved by Nero in the end. And then once after OC4 is done, that's when Dante will be part of the permanent pool, so we'll be able to summon him anytime by going on another banner. So I just wanted to kind of record this part as well, because I didn't know that Dante was going to be added as part of the Caldea Boy event right now on JP. I just wanted to throw this out there as well. So again, just like before, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, sub, and all of that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.